Hi, everyone. Um, I'm very happy to be here and say hi to you again. This is our third session, and my name is Adriana, and I am a teaching artist with Free Arts. Um, I do hope everybody's safe and healthy. Um, so today, what we're going to be discussing is one of my favorite subjects, which is color wheel. We're going to be discussing color and its combinations. But before that, we're going to warm up so we can all get comfortable. Then we're going to check in with each other with how we're feeling. It could be with one word or a sentence. And then we're going to do our exercise, our main exercise, which is going to be painting. And I'll give you some time to gather your supplies if you need to. Then we'll discuss our expectations and we'll discuss the expectations sooner rather than later. That'll be easier for us to be on the same page. And after we're done with our painting, we're going to maybe discuss what we did. So we're going to start with the exercise, the warm-up. So if you guys have not seen my previous videos, this is my daughter, Sana. You want to say hi? Say
hi? Hi.
And she's been my student for more than 2 years, for sure 3. Yeah. And she's a really good artist. So we're going to do our warm-up, and it's going to be 3 deep breaths, inhaling through our nose, and then exhaling through our mouth, and while we fill up our belly. Okay, are you ready? Yeah? Okay. Let's start. 2. This is your last one. Really good. This helps us connect and focus and stay centered, because sometimes when we're doing art, we get really, really excited, and then that doesn't help us actually have fun and get the work done. So now we're going to rub our hands together like this, and we're going to pretend we're holding a ball of energy. And this time, we're going to do something a bit different. Make sure you feel something. Are you aware of it? Do you feel tingling? Do you feel like electricity? What are you feeling? What are you feeling?
Kind of tingling.
Kind of tingling. So this is what we're going to be doing a little different today. We're going to put this on the hands. Instead of touching each other, we're just going to put it on our chest and see if we feel something different. Do you feel something different?
Tiny bit.
What does it feel like?
It's just hard to explain.
It feels good to me. It feels like calm, and it feels good. Okay, so now we are going to do a little wiggle movement. Do you know what that is? Do you remember?
I think you stand up and wiggle.
Well, we can do it while we're sitting down. So what do? Just wiggle, 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 wiggle. Like stretch your neck, maybe roll our shoulders back, and without hitting anyone, of course, right? Or hitting yourself, right? You don't want to hit yourself. Anyone else? There you go. Shake, 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 shake and wiggle. There you go. That sounds good. Does that feel good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. You're going to have a chance to feel a little silly. So we're going to check in at the beginning. How are we feeling?
I feel calm, happy, and excited.
Oh my gosh. Calm, happy, and excited. That's cool. And it's okay if you feel a little anxious. That's okay too. You can just breathe through it for a bit. And if you're feeling a little bit too excited, remember to take a breath. Deep breath. That always helps. Okay, guys. So, the color wheel. What's that mean? It's based on primary colors and then all the complementary colors. So, what are the primary colors?
Rojo, red, blue, azul, and yellow,
amarillo. Good. She speaks both languages, so that's why she's saying it in English and Spanish. So it's red, yellow, and blue. So with those 3 colors, you can practically do any other colors. Like what? What can you do?
Purple,
orange, and green. Great. She knows her colors. Those are the secondary colors. Yes, ma'am. That's awesome. Cool. So here they are. This is the color wheel. Let's see. I want to make sure you guys can see it. Yes. Well, we're going to stick to this side. So you can see the color wheel. You can see the blue, the yellow, right? We'll get back to the color wheel. But so you can pause right now if you need to. What are you going to need for this class are at least, well, you can get away with 1 brush. If not, 3 is really good. 3 different shapes or sizes. Brand doesn't matter. And watercolors. So some come like in this form. And then you want a little palette. It could be a plate. It could be a plastic plate if you want to, or any other container. So you can mix your colors in. And you're going to need some water. You don't need much. You can even share if you need to. You need paper. Thick paper. And if you don't have watercolor, you could use some of your acrylic color and dilute it with water. That always helps. Acrylic is fun that way. It's not necessarily watercolor, but it's the same base. So
maybe you could use color pencils sometimes.
Some color pencils can dilute with watercolor, but it has to say watercolor pencils. So that would work too. So you can pause it right now and get your stuff if you don't have it. Now that you have your stuff, we're ready to begin. And yesterday's class was about the sphere. So it's like anything that is round and you're trying to make it 3D. So this is a good example. This is an orange. So why do you think an orange is a good model for today?
It's kind of easy because it's only orange.
What about the color? Why is that a good thing for today?
It has different shades of orange.
It has, yes. And how do you make orange?
By using red and yellow.
Awesome. So if you don't have an orange, you can grab an apple, a lime, a lemon, a banana, whatever you have. Anything that you can make into like
a round.
Yeah.
Like something round.
Or 3D or
simple.
Yes. So this is what we found in our kitchen. I don't want to make it too hard for you, but this is something really easy for us. So we're going to use this model and we're going to put it right here. But before we start, I'm going to ask Sara to play with the colors. And this is going to take around 10 minutes. So I'm going to ask her to experiment. So what does that mean? Like playing with the water, playing with
Trying new things.
Trying new things. Nothing specific, nothing too serious. So it's a lot about experimenting and playing. How does it feel on the page? So I suggest that you use maybe just start out with 1. And yeah, go ahead and play with the colors. Make different shapes and forms. You can need a little bit more water. Remember, guys, we're in the desert here. So humidity is very low, so you need a little bit more water than you think usually. Okay, so I'm gonna help her by putting some water on top of the primary colors. Let's try to stick to those. So it's the yellow, the blue, and the red. Okay. And at this point, you guys can pause and take 10 minutes. And I'm going to let Sara play with her colors. While we do that, I think I forgot to mention to you guys about the expectations. So I'll go over it really quick in case you weren't here on our last class. So our expectations for free arts and probably for our house usually, this is a pretty standard rule, but it's always good to keep in mind to be kind, to be brave,
Try new things.
to be yourself, right? And well, to be brave is to try new things, yes, and have fun. And there are no mistakes in art, guys. That's what makes art so fun. So that's our expectations, and be respectful with others and towards yourself. That always helps to keep the environment fun and more relaxed. So, how you doing? Good. Okay. So, try maybe some blue, and then we'll show it. We can share it, okay? You're making little shapes and lines.
Tiny bit more water.
Okay, good. So I'm going to show it to you so you can get an idea. There's no right or wrong. I'm going to spread this a little bit because it's going to fall off that page. So here you can see she's just playing, getting a feel for the different brushes and colors, and maybe here you can see she added more water. And yellow is always tricky because you have to put lots of it in. Red, with just a little bit of pigment, you get a lot done. And blue is somewhere in the middle when it comes to saturation, when it comes to how much you need for it to show. Okay? So you guys can pause if you haven't finished. Otherwise, you guys can follow along with us. So we're gonna turn the page. Now we are going to make a painting of the orange.
That's kind of hard.
Well, let's see. It might be easier. It might be easier than we think, right? We don't know. That's the fun part. That's the adventures part. So, what would you put, knowing that the red is stronger and the yellow is not as strong, which color would you start out with?
Maybe yellow?
Yeah, let's try that. So let's try, since it's going to be a bigger area that we want to cover, we're going to try
the big one.
The big one, yes. So try what maybe like a circle first. I'm going to put the orange right here for her.
Like first start as like a big line.
Yeah, let's try that. Let's do that. Big line. There you go.
That's round.
And then you want to fill it in, right? Fill it in with yellow. I suggest you start with the lighter color first. That way you have a wider range of colors and tone, of the tone. So, I'll show it to you guys. So this is just a circle. She filled it in with yellow. Okay? And now we're going to see the magic happen. So I don't want her to use orange directly. I want her to combine the two primary colors to make a secondary color. So this is going to be your closest to red, okay? There you go. Yeah, just a little bit. Let's see what happens. So you want to spread it out really quick. There you go. Awesome. So we don't want to rub the paper too hard because then it'll start ripping with the water. So you have to be very gentle about it. There you go. Okay. So yeah, cool. It's just there. Cool. So I'm going to show it to you guys. Here you go. You can tell it became orange. And on the top side, here you go. Yeah, that's more red. But that's okay because we could use that for when we're going to apply the second layer. We're going to use that as a darker tone for the
shade.
Exactly. You got it.
Or so, volume.
Yes, ma'am. That's perfect. Yes. So that's what we're creating. We're creating volume. She's on it. She's on it, guys. Okay. So right now, we're gonna let it dry for a bit. You guys can keep playing. Maybe you can add something in the background. You want to add something in the background, maybe?
Yeah, maybe a orange tree.
Well, that might be too much. Maybe a couple of leaves, because then you're
Yeah.
gonna get really into it. Then it's gonna hard to come back to the main subject.
Maybe make a sun. That's easy.
Well, how about we could work on the base? How about you work on the base, which is the shadow that the orange is casting, like we did yesterday.
So
Remember?
I maybe use some.
What would you use?
Maybe this.
Yeah, maybe some brown. Let's try some brown.
Let's see what happens.
Just be careful, because if it touched the color, that might get you might get a different color. There you go.
That's light.
Yeah, maybe you can add a little bit more brown and see what happens. There you go. Got some water. Cool.
That's nice.
Okay. So what are we going to use now that you can see this tone? It's not exactly the same, and it doesn't have to be perfect, guys. Now that you can see the color on your page, how are you going to make the shadow color or shadow tone
maybe
of the orange? What color are you going to try to mix here?
Maybe put some yellow on right here on the end.
Maybe. What else?
And on the dark side, I could put the tiny bit of red.
Tiny bit of red. Let's see what happens. So you got some brown. You could use some brown for the shadow, for the shading here. So we want our base color. So once that dries enough to apply a second layer, we're going to use our base color, which is yellow with red, which makes orange. There you go. And if you have some brown, mix it in just a little bit, just a tad, just to make a darker tone. If you don't have brown, guess what? How do you make brown, Sana? Do you remember?
Just mix all the colors together.
So you mix all the colors together except white. Don't mix white and don't mix black. Okay? You can mix all the primary colors and you make brown. So once you have brown separate as like a different color, then you can mix it in with your base. The base is orange, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if it dried enough. Just enough to apply a second layer. So if it's too wet, wait for a bit. Okay. Or you can put it in the sun. That'll speed things up just a little bit. So we can see here that...
so like right here.
Yeah, wherever you see it, the darker tone, that's where you're going to put it on. Go ahead. Awesome. So remember, we want to make it look round. Okay, how about this? I'm going to help her a little bit here. See, we're going to leave a little edge so it
kind of does look a tiny bit realistic, but
we need to be patient, right? Remember, we've got to have some fun. And it's okay because again, it might take 3 or 4 layers. There you go. So let's leave it like that, and we can show them, show our friends. See, not perfect, but it's good because we're learning. It's layers, guys. So you can pause it and wait for it to dry a little bit. And now that you're ready, so what's another tone that we could add to make it a little darker? What do you think? I'll give you a hint. It's a primary color.
Blue.
Blue, yeah.
Because it's the darkest.
It's the darkest. So there you go. Ooh, did that get darker?
If you go with light.
Yeah, so here you go, guys. Let's see. We mixed our brown with her orange and the blue. It's a darker brown now. So we're going to use less of this
It kind of makes
quantity.
black.
It kind of makes black, yes.
But a tiny bit.
So we're going to dab. Since it's a little wet for us, we're going to dab a little bit. Like make like dots where we see the darkest spots. And not too much. And then maybe we can use another brush.
Maybe
and spread it a little bit. Make it softer. Okay, you can make it softer right there. I'm helping her out. Here we go. That's cool. Okay, so now it's looking more orange, but maybe more brown.
Like medium.
Like medium, right? So let's show them what we're doing. So maybe it's looking too brown, so we're gonna try to fix it. Okay, looks like a potato.
Maybe a very dark potato.
So we're gonna use a clean brush, and we're gonna go back to our base color, which is orange. First, we're gonna mix some yellow, and then what?
And if it maybe doesn't work out, you can maybe put some yellow.
Right. Yes, to compensate, right? So we're gonna make this orange color a little bit more yellowish.
Like an egg yolk.
Like an egg yolk, yes.
Like some egg yolks.
So let's try this. There we go. That's looking better. We're gonna make it a little bit more round because this is looking a little bit more like the
lime?
The lime that we made yesterday, huh? So let's make it a little. You can always correct it and modify it, guys. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's okay. Let's make it more interesting here. Here we go.
It's like a mustard.
It's a mustard color, huh?
When you put it on the paper.
Yeah, but it's okay because right now it's saturated. That means it's not going to grab any more color. So you can pause for a bit and maybe let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. And guess what, guys? This is something really good. Can you hand me that piece of paper down there, Sarah? You guys are going to like this. So with a piece of paper here, see? It's a paper towel. You can do this with cotton.
Dab it.
Yes, we dab it. We're going to dab just a little bit where the light is hitting it. So where we want a little bit more light, dab, and we remove some of the excess. Okay?
And it looks red.
That's way better. Awesome. Oh, that looks better, doesn't it?
That's more like orange.
Yes. Let's show them.
It takes
See?
something off.
Perfect. We're going to add...
It's still kind of brown.
It's still kind of brown. So what do we need to put in there?
Yellow.
More yellow, a little bit more orange, right? Let's try it again. So this, for me, this is the fun part. Actually, the back and forth until I get it right, or we get it right. It's a very intense. So we're going to combine two reds that we have here because the orange, the fruit has a very intense tone here. Okay. Here we go. Ooh, does that work?
That's more like the orange.
Yes.
Like regular.
Yeah. So here we go. And everybody's gonna have a different brand maybe of colors, and that influences what kind of tone you have. So it's a lot about playing around. There you go. Go ahead.
So I could just.
Where it's more intense, put in some dabs in. Dabs of color. So maybe like here in the middle. Can you see? So where the light is hitting it, you leave it less intense, okay?
Like more over here.
You're doing great.
Tiny bit on the bottom because it's more darker.
It's darker. Awesome. I'm going to help you out a little bit.
Kind of looks like an airplane or something.
Like an airplane, yeah. So
there.
here we go. And maybe your paper's wrinkling a little bit. That means it's got a lot of water. Maybe you should let it dry a little bit or spread it out. Spread out the water color. Or you can always go back and dab. That's better, huh? Let's see.
More orange.
More orange. Yeah. You can take as long as you need here, guys. We can add a little bit of the brown where we can see the shade. The darker tones.
Maybe a tiny bit more on the bottom.
little bit. Yeah, good idea. Let's put
way
something in the
down.
bottom.
Make it much darker than the lamp.
Mm-hmm. Let's do that. We'll do it kind of quick here.
Ooh, that looks blackish blue.
Yeah, let's spread it. Okay. Spread it.
To make a shadow, that actually looks realistic now.
And dab a little bit on this side. And oranges are not a perfect sphere, so it's okay if you get it kind of uneven, okay?
It looks like it's in a white room.
With
Like shiny.
We're going to add our finishing touches here. We're going to add some yellow over here. And I think we're going to leave it as is because it's going to take longer to dry. But it's finished enough where we can show it, okay? You guys can add as much detail as you want. But basically, this is what we did, right? We used 2 primary colors to make a secondary color while making it sphere-like. It's a sphere. Okay? So this is exciting, guys. You have learned so far how to make a sphere, create volume, how to use your primary colors, right?
Yeah.
To secondary colors. You've learned how to warm up by making spirals. What else did we learn?
Like different ways how to breathe,
To breathe, yes, to keep ourselves calm and focused while having fun. And at the end of this project, we're going to actually create a painting. And that's why I'm giving you all these separate tools so it will come together. So today's session is done. How are you feeling?
Good.
Good. Did you learn something new?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to close this session with something about gratitude. So sometimes we do not have words to express how we're feeling, but we have images and we have colors and we have lines. And this can be a soothing and validating experience. So we're here to be thankful, and sometimes challenges we can look at them as opportunities, and it could give us more tools to be more aware and be more confident. So we're going to end the session with what we feel grateful for.
I feel grateful for having food and water.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And air.
Yep, that's a good one. Well, I feel thankful and very grateful that we have tools like these we can play around with and learn. And paint. Yes, that's always fun. So now you guys can take a moment and share with whomever's next to you or maybe an adult that you have nearby. Check in with how you're feeling and say something you're grateful for. So I'll see you next time, guys. You want to say bye?
Bye.
Bye.